Red Sox 10-game road trip is Arlington, Texas. It's game one with the Rangers. The Sox to hit 3 cities, sporting the best record in Major League Baseball. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Very pleasant night here in Arlington, Texas. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner, of course, is Red Sox Hall of Famer Jerry Remy. Garen Austin along in just a couple of moments. Red Sox big winners yesterday, powered by the hot bat of Mookie Betts, 3 home runs. We're beginning to run out of ways to describe what he does.
We were still buzzing about it all the way down to Texas last night. It was quite a performance yesterday by Mookie Betts, and we'll take a look at the 3 home runs. On the first one, he gets a fastball that's down and in, and he takes that ball very deep out of the ballpark. I mean, you talk about launch angles. That was big time right there. Then he gets a hanging slider right down the left field line. The only question was whether it was going to stay fair or not, and it did. And this last one amazed me. A pitch up and away, actually out of the strike zone, and he takes it to center field for the home run. So right now, Mookie Betts has 4 3-home run games in his career. That puts him in Red Sox history #1. He's past Ted Williams, who had 3. So you see what kind of names we're starting to talk about now in comparison with Mookie Betts. And this is going to continue. He's only a young kid right now. His name's going to be mentioned with all the big names in Red Sox history.
25 years old. You mentioned Ted Williams. You realize that Hank Aaron, he's done it more times than Hank Aaron, more times than Babe Ruth in the regular season. Just remarkable. And it's only early May. Little bit of a different look to the lineup tonight. At the designated hitter spot, it'll be Blake Swihart tonight. He'll be taking his axe against the Texas Rangers. JD Martinez will be in left field. Red Sox and the Rangers coming up from Arlington. It's game one in just a moment. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By your local New England Ford dealers. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Sox against the Rangers coming up. First of a 4-game series. And during batting practice today, just as it was getting underway, they had the final moments of the Yankees and Astros game. The Yankees rallying to beat Houston 6-5. So they wind up taking 3 out of 4 in that series. Red Sox need to win to maintain a 2-game lead. It is May 3rd, however. David Price on the bump here tonight. The left-hander coming in 2-3. He's made 14 starts against Texas in his career, 4-5, an ERA at 5.11. The ballpark has always been an excellent hitter's park.
It has been. The ball jumps out of this ballpark. It really does. And, when you look at this Texas ball club, they were off to a very, very tough start, especially pitching-wise. They're not pitching good at all. And, you know, they got some pop. They got some guys who can hit some home runs, but they strike out a lot. It's been a very disappointing start to the season for them. The Red Sox really have to take advantage of that at the beginning of this long road trip.
Yep, they are 12-20. Bannister, the manager, his team has seen better days. Plenty of injuries, too, including Adrian Beltre, who is not in the lineup and is remaining on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. We did see him out taking some early hitting today. Looked pretty darn good. And he's a fast healer. I think Red Sox fans remember that.
Yeah, another guy they're missing too, Elvis Andrus, very good player. He's also on a disabled list. So they've got some health issues that they're dealing with right now.
And the talk of baseball right now is certainly the Red Sox star Mookie Betts with the 3 home runs again in yesterday's victory over Kansas City. For a little while he was leading Major League Baseball in home runs, and then Mike Trout went to work last night. He hit 1, so they are tied atop the Major League standings in home runs. But what Mookie Betts is doing right now is catching everyone's attention from coast to coast. And it's, of course, just not the offense, it's the defense as well. It's the ability to run the bases, the speed, steal bases. And as you've said a couple of times, Jerry, and I love the line, he's not a 5-tool player, he's a 6-tool player.
He enjoys playing so much. His personality is so great. You know, he just has a love and a joy to play the game, and it's so much fun to watch. And especially when you're I guess when you're that good, the game is a lot of fun.
We understand the game has been delayed until 7:10. Not much of a delay, just a few minutes. But while we have a moment, let's toss it down and say good evening to Garen Austin. Hey, Garen.
Hi, Obi. Hi, Jerry. Well, Eduardo Rodriguez is on medical family leave, and today Alex Cora said that they're pretty confident that he'll be back in time to make that start on Saturday. And Brock Holt was running the bases today. He continues to make progress. Cora said that he's going to come in early tomorrow, and they'll assess where he's at. And they're going to hopefully send him out on a rehab assignment soon, and he could join the team as early as next week. And guys, I've got a great story today. Young 7-year-old PJ Trojanowski got to meet Mitch Moreland. Now, she's been battling cancer for a long time, and she feels that Mitch helped her beat cancer. So she got to meet him. A really great story coming up later tonight, and also talk to Blake Swihart. He's in the lineup today, guys.
Look forward to all of that. Thank you, Garen. And Mitch Moreland not in the lineup this evening, but of course he's a Texas guy and played for the Rangers. He had a lot of fans here in the Metroplex area who watched him play and miss him very much. So look forward to hearing about that. We're talking about Mookie Betts now. Time for our twisted but true fact. Mookie Betts just the 2nd Red Sox hitter since 1908 with 3 multi-home run games in the first 30 games the Sox have played. Manny Ramirez had 3 in 2001. The only other major league hitter since 1908 to have multiple 3 home run games in the first 30 were Carlos Delgado of Toronto. That was in 2001. And Willie Stargell in 1971 with the Pittsburgh Pirates, as we look back at his home runs yesterday.
Again, you know, 3 different type of pitches. The fastball down and in that he takes for a home run, a hanging slider that he takes for a home run, and a pitch that's up and away, actually out of the strike zone, that he takes for a home run to center field. So, I mean, it was amazing sitting there watching that game yesterday and watching Mookie Betts perform. And we were talking about it all the way down here on the trip from Boston to Texas about what an incredible thing we got to watch yesterday in that game.
And Mookie's about 5'10", and you know, it's not like he's 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 260 pounds. And the first home run that he launched yesterday traveled 452 feet, and the second one went 440.
Yeah, it's bat speed, it's quick hands, and we've been able, you know, we've seen that since the beginning when he came up with the Red Sox, and that hasn't let up at all. So finally we're going to get the meeting at home plate. I don't know why the game was delayed till 7:10. It's obviously a beautiful night here in Arlington.
Yeah, very comfortable here this time of the year, in particular to have weather like this. Now here's them working on the field, the grounds crew. It's the reason we've had a little bit of a delay. You can see right near the pitcher's mound going to work.
Now, if I was putting, I still would not be able to make it into that size of a cup.
To me, that looked like a clogged drain issue.
Yeah, so the major issue is that's the reason for the holdup.
That's a honey, I'm calling the plumber. And they had the grounds crew ready to go here. Yeah, it's been terrific weather-wise. Now, next year they'll be playing here at Globe Life Park one final year, and the year after that, in 2020, they're actually moving into a brand new ballpark. They have been here less than 25 years, but they've decided because of the oppressive heat in the summertime that's affecting crowds, it's keeping their crowds down, even the years when they had exceptional teams who went to the World Series. So right next door, right across the street, they're building a brand new retractable dome ballpark that'll be ready 2020 with air conditioning.
So that'd be the third place in Texas that I played. I played at the old stadium. Well, not played, but played in broadcast. I played at the very old stadium, which was a horrible place to play. You come here to a beautiful ballpark. It's only been open 20-some years, and now we're going to be going to a dome, which makes all the sense in the world down here in the middle of the summer.
Sure does. So not that far away from where the Cowboys play, which is the Taj Mahal, I think, of arenas in America. It's absolutely incredible. Took a tour over there with Joe Castiglione a few years ago before they opened it up. I could not believe what they have, not only for the players, but for the patrons who come. I mean, patrons are the ones, the fans are the ones who are shelling out all that dough. They have their own parking area underneath the stadium. It's exclusive to them, so you're not schlepping across the street. You're parking where it's nice and cool and underneath, and you get your own like dedicated elevator. It's incredible. Well, here come the Rangers coming onto the diamond. We'll give you a look at the Red Sox lineup, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. And it'll be Mookie Betts to lead things off against the left-hander Mike Minor. Hanley Ramirez at first base, JD Martinez in left, with Xander Bogaerts the shortstop, batting .367. Rafael Devers will man third with Eduardo Nunez at second. As mentioned, Blake Swihart is the DH tonight. Christian Vasquez doing the catching, and Jackie Bradley in center field is the number 9 hitter. Against Minor, the pitching has been a huge problem for Texas, as Jerry mentioned, but he's been all right. 2-1 with a .433 ERA.
The Texas defense not good. 13th in the league, 26 errors in 32 games. Renato Nunez at third base. Jurickson Profar at second base. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at second base. Joey Gallo, the first baseman. Left to right, Ryan Rua, Delino DeShields, and Nomar Mazara, and Robinson Chirinos doing the catching.
Here are the umpires tonight, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Phil Cuzzi has the plate. Adam Hamari at first, Adrian Johnson at second, Dan Bellino at third. We're available as telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button in your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
Buenas noches, amigos.
And a very, very nice night. 77 degrees. Bit of a breeze in from right field at 10 miles per hour. No threat of showers as the Red Sox and the Rangers are ready for game 1. And of course, tomorrow night, Lightning at the Bruins. Celtics and 76ers playing tonight. So an awful lot going on this week as the Red Sox have hit the road to the Lone Star State. And it'll be on to New York for 3 in the Bronx, and then on to Toronto after that. Mookie hitting .365 to lead the majors. Swings at the first pitch, and it's a high pop into left field. Oncoming Rua. 1 pitch and 1 out. So no leadoff home run tonight, but 3 home runs yesterday. First one he crushed. Second one went down the left field line. He snuck that one inside the foul pole. And you mentioned that last home run and why you were particularly impressed by that.
Yeah, it was a ball that was up and out of the strike zone away from him, and I don't know how in the world you get to that and generate enough power to be able to hit that ball to center field.
Second pitch wrapped on the ground to Nunez, and 2 fast outs. That's that home run you were talking about.
Now watch the location of the pitch yesterday where it's going to be up. Look at the catcher reach for it. And Betts able to cover the plate, pull that ball, pull it to center field for the home run. Just incredible.
So that's the one that went .440. And Mookie said, you know, I'm doing things. Some of them I'm not surprised myself, but a couple of them I am. And he mentioned that home run, just like you.
Yeah.
The fact that it just kept carrying and carrying to that part of the ballpark. Here's Martinez. He looks at a ball. JD .343 with 6 home runs and 24 runs batted in to lead the ball club. And that's ball 2.
And they play him more straight up than a lot of clubs do. You know, they shade him slightly in center field. The Shields does to the opposite field, but not as much as most center fielders do.
Popped up right field. It's going to be a quick inning. And the Red Sox are going to go 1, 2, 3 here in the first. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at second base with Mazzara in right, Gallo at first. Jurickson Profar is at short. Nunez at third. Chirinos and Rua rounding it out here against David Price. The left-hander coming in 2 and 3. 3.78 ERA. He gave a 5 earned in 5 2/3 in his most recent start against Tampa Bay. That was a 12-6 loss. Rays were red hot. And drilled in there for a strike.
2 fastballs to start off the game for David Price, both about 92 miles an hour.
Texas, a team that is more than a little bit beaten up right now with several major injuries. So the Red Sox may be catching them at a good time, and they have not been a good home team at all. 4 and 12 here at Globe Life Park. They haven't won a series here. Shin-Soo Choo on deck, just getting started. No score in the first inning. And Price looking for that first K in the book.
2 fastballs to start off. He tried 2 cutters to get him to the outside part of the plate, but that one way outside.
The Red Sox got 3 homers from Mookie yesterday. The Rangers were victimized by 3 from Cleveland's Edwin Encarnacion in a 12-4 beating of Texas. Knocked foul toward the tarp, up into the seats.
Now Price last year faced the Rangers only 1 time and went 6 innings in that game, giving up 6 hits and no runs. Had 9 strikeouts in the 6th inning. And as I mentioned prior, just a few minutes ago, this club strikes out more than anybody in the American League right now.
Two and 2 on to Shields. 1 for 6 lifetime against David. And down he goes on cue. He strikes out, 1 away.
Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense. They're third in the league with 12 errors in 30 games. Rafael Devers will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. Eduardo Nunez at second. And Hanley Ramirez, the first baseman. Left to right, J.D. Martinez, Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts, and Christian Vasquez doing the catching for David Price.
Now here's a guy, the designated hitter, Shin-Soo Choo, left-hand hitter from South Korea, who has been trouble against Price in his career. He's 10 for 27. Swinging immediately, pops it down the left field line. Martinez moving over to the stands, but that's off into the seats. They're not expecting an overflow crowd tonight, given the way things have started for the Rangers this season. 12 and 20. Expectations are not sky high this year here.
Yeah, they might do a little better on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but being a Thursday night, not much of a crowd at all.
Right now they're in the basement in the AL West. They're 8 games back of Houston coming into play today. They also find themselves near the bottom of the American League in hitting, runs, ERA, and fielding. Several key players are out. Kiner Falefa on deck, and he thought about it but stayed up high, and he checked his swing. Adrian Beltre is mentioned out. He's now 39 years old, the all-star third baseman, now with a hamstring injury. Got his 3,000th hit last season. And is in there for a call strike right on the corner. Beltre got 189 of those hits with the Red Sox in 2010. He had a terrific year in Boston. But just the 1 year. Ground ball to third, scooped up by Devers, and a long throw. Got him.
Nice play by Devers down at third base, going to the backhand, taking maybe extra bases away from Choo. Just a little crossover step, the backhanded play, and a good, strong, accurate throw to Hanley Ramirez at first base to pick up the second out.
You'll often see the Red Sox taking infield the first game of a road series. We saw that today.
Yeah, it's something that Dallas Carr has brought in here. You know, they get used to the field. They take ground balls prior to batting practice. They take all kinds, you know, infield in types, double plays. I think it's a great thing because, you know, a lot of teams don't take infield anymore.
Isaiah Kiner Falefa now second baseman, 278 with 2 home runs. Native of Honolulu, Hawaii. He made his major league debut earlier this season. Bases are empty, man 2 down, no score in the first.
Talk about an open stance. How about that? He'll come back in toward the pitcher, though. I mean, you cannot possibly be more open than that than being out of the batter's box.
Oh, he almost has that
yeah.
left foot out. And Price with a 1-1. Floated toward right center, but Jackie Bradley there to make the catch and retire the side. Good start for David Price tonight. Top of the second, no score after one. Bogarts, Devers, Nunez up against Mike Minor. 6'4" lefty.
Filling in of the Red Sox, Minor pitched for the Kansas City Royals over the last few years. Most of his work out of the bullpen.
Bogarts 367 with 3 home runs. Got something off speed there.
Yeah, good changeup right there, down and away from Bogarts.
Xander came back to the lineup last Friday, and Monday ripped a game-winning grand slam. Hard hitting a base hit. Red Sox with their first knock tonight. He's heading for second. The throw comes through, and he dives into second base.
Oh, what great hustle by Xander Bogarts. You know, 2 things. First of all, it gets on top of a high fastball to take the ball, which looked like was going to be a single, up the middle. But Bogarts thinking 2 bases right out of the batter's box, and he never stops. Never stops. Head first slide into second base, and it was not even close. That's the way to run the bases. You make contact, you run hard until they make you stop.
We kind of stole him blind there, as DeShields tried to get over there, and Xander was thinking 2 bases all the way. So here's Devers trying to pick him up immediately. Rafael 263, 4 home runs, and 21 driven in, number 2 on the team. And a 1-0. There's that elevated fastball that he likes to offer at so often.
And he sees so many of them, especially when he's down in the count. And that ball's about shoulder high. Tough to make contact on that pitch.
Sox take a 22-8 record into one of the longest road trips of the season. 3 cities, 11 days. Just split a 6-game homestand with Tampa Bay and Kansas City. 2-1.
And fastball a little bit high. When he chases it that time, he does make contact but falls it off.
.314 with men in scoring position. He's on a 100 RBI pace after the first 30 games. Nunez on deck. Little chopper, and one ran in on him. When the Sox get back to Boston on May 14th, they will have spent a lot of time on the road the early part of the schedule, but most of the rest of May after that will be at Fenway. Be nice to settle in for a while. Bogarts at second, and a 2-2.
Good at bat. Seeing a lot of pitches, 6 pitches so far, and you know, you mentioned the numbers with runners in scoring position, doing very well. We look at the schedule coming up, and just beginning this long journey through Texas as we speak Texan. Then we go to New York, speak with a New York accent, and then we go to Toronto and maybe mix in some French.
How's your French?
So.
I didn't say how was your accent. I said how was your French. Accent's pretty good.
Bonjour.
Outstanding. Magnifique. Nunez to hit next. A long at bat here for the youngster. Minor signed a 3-year deal as a free agent. Spoiled another one.
Good battle. Good battle right here between Minor and you can see Devers fouling off some pretty good breaking balls right now. Tries to slide it on him, and he's able to just flick at it, foul it off. Let's see if they come back with a high fastball.
ninth pitch of the at bat coming up. And the 3-2 from the southpaw. He struck him out.
No high fastball that time, just nasty on the outside part of the plate. It was a fastball, but he didn't elevate it. He put it right on the corner. So a long battle won by Minor that time. Bogaerts remains at second base.
So one out for Nunez, who does come in with a 5-game hitting streak. Eduardo hitting .243 with 3 homers. There's a shot. High drive into left center field. On the run to Shields. He is there to the warning track almost. He makes the catch, and back into second base is Xander Bogaerts.
Well, it sure looked like it had enough when it left the bat, didn't it? It was a breaking ball that Nunez hit, and it looked like when it left the bat it might have a chance to get out of here, but it was knocked down. The Shields making the catch. Bogaerts playing it halfway. He's already in scoring position at second base, so you don't want to take that chance of being thrown out at third, especially with 2 outs.
So 2 gone for Blake Swihart, who appears in the lineup tonight as the designated hitter. 150, no homers, 1 run batted in. He has plenty of friends and family here because he is from Bedford, Texas, which is very close by to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Red Sox with a number of native Texans on the roster. Of course, Brock Holt is getting closer to a return. This one popped up off the end of the bat, charging on Mazzara. Plenty of time to get there, and the Red Sox can do nothing after the leadoff double. In game number 31, the Red Sox would lose to Texas 4-3. Adrian Beltre delivered the walk-off single. Mitch Moreland hit his 4th home run of the season. That damage done for Texas. Mitch Moreland was here for 7 years. Drafted and signed by the Texas Rangers. Nomar Mazzara here. Young right fielder, 280 with powers, hit 5 homers. Mitch, a very well-liked guy here, very popular player. Driven into left center field, but Jackie Bradley on the sinking liner will collect that for out number 1. So Price has set down the first 4 men tonight, and Joey Gallo will be next. Gallo is certainly a home run hitter, and he will strike out a ton.
10 home runs on the season, 40 strikeouts on the season, only 13 walks.
So once out of every 3 at bats, he is striking out.
Not waiting around against David Price either. A strikeout pitcher swings at that first fastball he sees.
He homered yesterday against the Cleveland Indians. Oh, 1. Rangers hit a lot of them last year. They built to 237 home runs. That was tied for 3rd in the majors. So plenty of pop in the lineup when they're healthy. And to move back a bit. 2-1. Shortstop Jurickson Profar on deck. And Price with a 2-1. It's been a very tough year so far for Bannister and the Rangers, but they had won the West 2 years in a row before the Houston Astros rose up last year and not only won the division but won the World Series. Wasn't that long ago this was a World Series club themselves. And a 3-1 fills up the count. Changeup on 3-1. Texas going to back-to-back World Series in 2010 and 11. Came so close to winning the World Series they could taste it. They were 1 out away in Game 6 against the Cardinals. They lost the game, lost the series. This feels like a long way back. That's Moreland there on the left. 2010 they won the ALCS against the New York Yankees. Next year did it against the Tigers on their way to the World Series against the Cardinals. Yu Darvish's rookie year they lost the American League wildcard game to the Orioles in 2012. Of course he's no longer here. Then 2015 lost in a postseason again. 3-2 the count.
That ball was headed right back in our direction.
You know, I was looking at the monitor.
I was too.
And here it comes. And it wasn't stopping.
No, thank God it was a little bit shy of the booth.
That'll keep you awake. 3-2 from Price. And ran in and got him, hit him. So Gallo, hit by a pitch, will take his base here, become the first base runner against Price tonight.
Red Sox hitters have been hitting a lot of batters recently, and none of them have been intentional. Price just coming inside with the fastball right there and gets Gallo off the shoulder.
Red Sox have now hit 13 batters. Red Sox themselves have been hit by 14. A lot of them lately. Profar 238 with a home run. Got a runner on at first, 1 down, no score. The regular shortstop Elvis Andrus is out with a broken right elbow. He's been out since April 12th. So Profar getting a chance to play there. He's a switch hitter from Curacao. And a shot toward the alley. Jackie Bradley moving over, lunges, can't get it on the dive. It's up against the wall. Gallo rounding third. He's trying to score, and he will. And down to third is Profar ripping a triple to make it 1-0 Texas.
You know, Profile's had good success, you know, in very few at-bats against David Price. He's faced him now 6 times and has 3 hits. This ball was hit very hard. A nice effort by Jackie Bradley. It's a fastball a little bit away. And Bradley going back toward it, leaps, and he just can't get it right over the glove. And after that, it's 3 bases. Gallo stopping at second base to make sure that ball was not caught. He has no problem scoring. And now the Red Sox are pulling infield in with the 1 out in the inning.
1-0 Rangers. His first triple of the season. Renato Nunez will be the next man in, batting just a .150 with 1 home run. Everybody in close, and it'll be strike 1. So the Rangers get on top here in the second inning. Nunez, the third baseman, the guy filling in for Beltre. He drives one to left field. That's deep. Martinez racing back toward the track, lunges. Oh man, what a play! Tagging up at third. Here's Profar in to score. That'll make it 2-0. But some catch out there in left field.
Wow.
He had a long way to go.
I didn't think he was going to get to this ball. I thought it was going to be off the wall, but he makes it running away. And of course, then it becomes an easy tag at third base and a score to get a run. But a terrific play by J.D. Martinez. This may have really cut down a possible big inning here for the Texas Rangers.
That's a double or a triple again.
Yeah, easy double, no question about that.
So the bases are empty for Chirinos. I have to say the best defensive play we have seen J.D. make, regardless of which corner he's played in the outfield. Chirinos just 183, but another guy who swings for the fences for them. He has half a dozen home runs. 2-0 Rangers. Right through the changeup at 85.
Yeah, back-to-back changeups to start him off.
I mentioned the Yankees won. So did Toronto. Toronto won in extra innings. They got Donaldson back today. Josh Donaldson. He hit a home run. So he will be certainly on course to be in the lineup when the Red Sox play the Blue Jays on this road trip in Toronto again. Popped a mile high off third, but foul. Ryan Rua on deck. So as it turns out, the hit batsman hurts Price and the Red Sox worse than it hurt Joey Gallo. And Profar triples him in, but one whale of a catch by J.D. Martinez all the way to the warning track out there, more toward left center actually. Two and two on Chirinos, the catcher. With 2 down.
Just getting a piece of that fastball at 93 from David Price. A little bit above the belt that time.
Looking to finish off the number 8 hitter. Can't with that pitch, just off the edge, and he's run it full.
And he's tried a couple of times with that cut fastball. He's trying to pick up the outside corner on, but just missing outside with it. Pitches 4 and 6. Both cutters.
He's averaged a major league low 3.3 pitches per batter this season, but this is a long at bat. He puts him away finally, a cut and a miss to strike him out and retire the side, but they get 2.
Swihart is the DH. Alex Cora said that it was a good opportunity to get him in there. I got up with Swihart earlier, and he said it has been tough, but he's getting his work in. He's staying prepared and staying ready. He said Cora's been very helpful. He's always keeping him abreast of the situations, when they could use him, when they might need him, and he said that's been really helpful. And guys, as you mentioned, Blake does have some family here. He told me that his dad drove 10 hours to be here tonight. He said he's really excited to have him here, and it's going to be a special series. His sister, his brother, as well as his wife will also be here this weekend.
All right, thank you very much, Karen. Yep. Raised locally in the lineup tonight. Only 20 at-bats coming into play tonight. 0 for 1 so far with a fly to right field, but batting out of that 7th spot. Number 8 hitter is Vasquez, 185 without a home run. He had a rough homestand. Going 3 for 17 at the plate. Had a couple of errors on Tuesday night.
You know, Cora's been trying to find a way to get Swihart in the lineup, but it's been difficult, you know, especially early in the season. And, you know, you can do all the prep work you want out in the field and batting practice and taking ground balls at different spots. But, you know, when you face live pitching, it's totally different, and it takes time to get your timing down.
0-2. Jackie Bradley on deck. Mookie Betts will follow for his second trip tonight. Red Sox facing the veteran left-hander Mike Minor. He's going to head-to-head with a college teammate tonight. He and David Price were teammates at Vanderbilt. And swung on and missed. He will strike out. Vasquez gone, so one away in the 3rd.
Tomorrow at 7, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC Eck and Steve will break down David Price's start.
That was a loaded Vanderbilt team. Pedro Alvarez had a fine career in the major leagues. Slugger. He was also on that team. All 3 of those guys were first-round draft picks. Jackie Bradley made contact there, didn't mean to, and he trickles a foul backward for strike 1. Needs a hot streak right now, hitting 188. And Mookie Betts waiting in the on-deck area. Nobody actually stands in an on-deck circle anymore.
It's not comfortable standing on it. It's slippery.
Yeah, they're plastic. They can be dangerous too.
Got a lot of stuff over there, you know. You get the lead bats, you get the lead pipes you put around the bat to make them heavy. You get the pine tar, you get the rosin.
A lot of stuff. Little number foul off the end of the bat, and it's 2-2.
That's why catchers hate pop-ups that head toward the on-deck circle, because there's all kind of stuff they've got to fight to get out of the way of.
That's a great point. Remember, Jason Varitek slipped on one and broke an elbow, cracked his elbow one year. It could be very dangerous. Two. Popped him up. And the catcher with a play. Chirinos moving to his right, and he's got it. And he was pretty close to that on-deck circle. Tiptoeing around it, so 2 down. Red Sox Nation members can earn loyalty points every time they attend a game at Fenway, and by watching every away game on NESN as you are right now. And they can use those points to redeem items like autographs, memorabilia, and much more. Visit RedSoxNation.com to sign up today.
If you're watching a lot of away games, you're cleaning up on the points.
You betcha.
Because there's been a lot of them.
Sox have gone 11-4 on the road. That's a battle for you. Battle Royale. Mookie's 0 for 1. He's flied to left. I love Ned Yost's comment after the game yesterday. Mookie hit the 3 home runs. Kansas City manager, he said, I only see Mookie Betts 6 times a year, but I can tell you this, he is special. There's a bullet left field, hit well. Rua back, turning around, and she's gone. A home run. Number 12 for Mookie Betts. Had to wait around to his second at bat tonight. 12 home runs.
He's sliding a little bit. That's something off speed that he hit. I think it might have been a changeup. But it's down, it's away from him, and he reaches out and just drives the ball on a line as he normally does out of the ballpark for home run number 12. So the Red Sox quickly right back in the ball game.
So Mookie with home runs in 4 of his last 5 at bats. Going back to yesterday. Andy Ramirez 0 for 1. Speedway donating $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox home run. And don't forget, all summer long you can stop by your local Speedway and quench your thirst with a refreshing Speedy Freeze. Nothing cooling off Mookie Betts at the moment. JD Martinez on deck. 2-1 Texas.
Back-to-back changeups.
And he missed again.
Yeah, back-to-back missing low.
Mookie taking over. Major League home run lead again. Now 1 up on Mike Trout. And 3-1 will be inside for ball 4. And that'll send up JD Martinez. JD 0 for 1 with a fly to right field. Makes him 1 for 2 against Mike Minor. That one is a homer. Mookie Betts started the night leading the American League in batting average. Manny Machado second and JD Martinez third. A wave and a miss for strike 1. Hanley aboard with 2 down. And quickly 2 strikes on JD.
Man, 2 pitches, 2 changeups in the exact same spot. Down and away from Martinez. Almost identical to the first pitch that he threw that JD swung at.
Mike Minor was a regular in the Atlanta rotation for a few seasons. He went 13-9 his best year in 2013. Then he got hurt. A rotator cuff injury, missed all of 2015 and most of 16 before he bounced back with Kansas City last year, working out of their bullpen. Pitched very well. 6-6, a 2.55 ERA, and that got him a deal here in Texas. One and 2 on Martinez. Up the middle and a base hit. Hanley ropping into second, takes a turn, but he'll be content with that. DeShields scooped it up quickly this time. And so the Red Sox have 2 on for Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of similar base hits. One by Bogaerts that turned into a double. That was on a high fastball. This time they go with the high fastball on JD Martinez. He hits it in the same spot, but this time for a single. So all is happening with 2 outs for the Red Sox and a chance for Bogaerts to do something here with men in scoring position.
First time up, a hustle double for Xander. Looked like nothing more than a base hit to center field. Then a move toward left center. DeShields, center fielder, had to track it down. And Xander took off for second base. Beat it pretty easily, although he was stranded there. Chance to even it up, and he will take a strike. And how hot is JD Martinez now? In the last 17 games, he's hitting about 440.
Just showing you what a good all-around hitter he is. He's not just a power guy.
Check swing, and that's across for a strike. That curveball.
Yeah, that fooled Xander Bogaerts there. He was not expecting a breaking ball in that count, and that was a very good knuckle curve.
Ramirez at second, Martinez at first. 2 strikes on Xander. Pretty good take on that changeup. Another home run by Mookie Betts. He has struck again for the 12th time this season. The Red Sox on the scoreboard, 2-1 Rangers. Red Sox pressing for more here in the 3rd inning.
And Hanley was doing a little dancing around on second base, and that calls Minor to spin around and at least get him back to the bag. I don't think Hanley's going anywhere.
One, 2 from Minor. You have to say that Xander Bogaerts has had 0 issues with that tiny crack in his ankle since he came back.
No, he's looked great. You watch him run. I mean, you watched him run the bases in the 1st inning, stretching that into a double. No sign of any kind of a limp at all from Bogaerts.
Fast recovery. Here's a 1-2 from the left-hander. Devers, the on-deck hitter. The Red Sox doing a little bit of damage here to Minor, maybe a lot, with 2 down. The home run by Mookie came with 2 out, then the walk and a base hit. Cracked along third, but foul.
That's frustrating, isn't it? Just out of the reach of a fan. Will he get it? Yeah, nice. That's very nice.
A couple of Sox fans did notice he didn't hand it to him. He just sort of rolled it over the top of the rim.
At least he gave it to him. You know, I mean, he could have put it in his pocket and they could have used it for batting practice tomorrow.
Good to see him wearing that helmet. Some hot shots over there. Here's the 2-2. Popped him up. Out goes Profar. Rua coming on. So is DeShields. The center fielder keeps coming, and he's got it. Side retired, but Mookie Betts hits number 12. It's 2-1 Texas. any device with alerts 15 minutes before the game. Presented by Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of the Red Sox and Major League Baseball. Just visit NESN.com/schedule. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin with you from Arlington, Texas. Texas with a 2-1 lead. Mookie Betts with a home run moments ago. Ryan Rua leading things off here against Price. To Hopper, high bounce there for Devers, but he handles that and gets him.
Well, better up high than low. You know, a lot of times you get that glove in a position and if the ball stays down, you can't get to it. But here he's backing up and he's got the glove up around his waist, so he's able to make that play and throw the ball to first base to get the out. That footwork's so important, you know, how to get in position to make plays.
DeShields struck out to begin tonight for the Rangers, the son of the former major leaguer Delino DeShields. He was a pretty good and speedy ball player for a long time. His mom competed in the heptathlon and qualified for the 1992 Olympics. And his sister Diamond is a pro basketball player overseas. She was a big star at Tennessee. Tremendous athletic family. Shin-Soo Choo on deck. 2-1 Rangers. Early here in Texas. One from David Price. Hammered up the middle, knocked down by Bogarts from the knees. Throws. He's not going to get him though, and it'll be a base hit. Nice effort by Xander Bogarts, but a single for DeShields.
Yeah, DeShields runs too well, and you know, from that position, I mean, you can't get very much on the ball going to first base. A nice effort though right here, as you can see, but you know, from the knees, even as quick as it was, DeShields too fast going down the line. Now he's going to be watched. He's got 4 steals on the season. Caught one time.
Seven-game hitting streak for their leadoff man brings up Shin-Soo Choo, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. The Sox would take a ground ball at the third baseman right now and end the inning on a double play. Flared foul for strike one. Tomorrow night it'll be Rick Porcello on the hill against the ageless Bartolo Colon.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I mean, first of all, Porcello's 4-0, and Colon is about 45, just shy of his 45th birthday. Played for 11 different ball clubs. One of them was the Red Sox, because he's played for just about everybody. And still pitching. He's 1-0 right now with a .287 earned run average. Porcello at 2.23 off to a great start. Won the Cy Young back in 2005, back when he threw 100 miles an hour. Which is not the case anymore. His nickname, Big Sexy. Like, I'm not kidding. That's his nickname. You're gonna see all sorts of T-shirts saying that, Jerry, all around the ballpark. There is a ground ball to third, and Devers leaves it behind, and everybody's going to be safe. So that'll get DeShields down to second and Shin-Soo Choo into first.
Now it's just a matter of consistency down there for Rafael Devers. You know, he'll make a good play and then he'll make one like this where the glove just comes up too soon. He knows he's got to rush that ball at first base to get it out, but you got to keep that glove down on the ground. You can't bring it up too soon. That's exactly what he did there. Should go as an error. If it is, that's his 7th of the season at third base.
Red Sox have committed 12. Of course, had 4 of them in one game, and it will be an error. Rainer Falefa now. He's 0 for 1, a fly out to center. He fouls that one away for strike one. So a base hit and an E5, and Texas suddenly in business. And Price trying to induce the double play to get out of the inning. Little pop up on the infield. Here comes Devers in with the infield flying effect. He'll have that.
Well, tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we'll have a full recap of tonight's Sox game, plus a preview of Game 4 of the Lightning Bruins playoff series. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people.
Well, Price gets the number 3 hitter. Now going after the cleanup man, Nomar Mazara. Hit the ball hard the first time, but he lined to Jackie Bradley in center. So he's 0 for 1. Mazara's a big kid, 22 years old. He's 6'4", 225. Two down and 2-1. No easy strike, nothing in one. Nice play made by a fan there. It's been a good fielding crowd here in Texas tonight.
Bring your glove to the ballpark and get yourself a souvenir. You see so many people bring their gloves hoping to get one. This guy did.
One runners go. Swung on and foul at the plate. So they will send them both back. Double steal attempt here by Texas. Mazara last year, when he was the same age as Rafael Devers, drove in 100 runs. He was the only Ranger to do it. Started the season at age 21, finished at 22.
Get a lot of these ranges with wide open stance, don't you?
Yes.
Very similar.
And he'll get a time here by Phil Cuzzy.
I think one of the reasons they do that is with the open stance you get a better look at the pitcher, obviously, but then you got to get it going back toward the pitcher or you're in big trouble. Most of them, the majority of them, do get going back in that direction.
0-2. Line drive. Martinez can't get it. It's past him. A run is in. DeShields scores. Shin-Soo Choo rounding. He will score. Mazara has been a very good RBI man the last couple of seasons, and he's just driven in 2 more. Shooting that one down the left field line for 2 RBIs.
Yeah, there's nothing J.D. Martinez could do with that. It's a fastball away. He just goes with it to the opposite field on a line, gets his hands above the baseball, and is able to put it on a line. Martinez tries to knock it down, but very difficult play. Gets by him, and 2 runs come across. So they're swinging the bats.
So man at second, 5th double of the year for Mazara. That'll bring up Gallo, who was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning and came in to score on the triple by Profar. 4-1 Rangers in the 3rd.
Eduardo Nunez way back on the outfield grass. Bogarts almost playing that second base position. And Devers has to hold tight to third just in case they take off and steal.
Gallo hit 41 home runs last year, but he only hit 209. Second lowest batting average in history for a Ranger who hit 40 home runs. Not real fond of the single or the double. Usually a home run or a strikeout for this guy. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And he struck him out, but they get two more and now lead it 4-1.
Hot seat. Plus, JBJ shares secrets to soaring in the outfield. Catch an all-new Nesson Clubhouse Sunday at 1:30 on Nesson. Presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts.
The Red Sox with ground to make up. They're down 4-1 going to the fourth inning here in Arlington. Devers, Nunez, Swihart facing Mike Minor. The only Red Sox run so far on a Mookie Betts solo homer. Hard hit for a single in the right field, so he pulls a base hit. And a promising start for the Sox here in the fourth inning as Devers is on.
Yeah, a little better pitch to handle than last time up. They got him on a fastball on the outside corner. This one stays middle of the plate, and he's able to pull the ball in that hole between first and second for the leadoff hit.
Eduardo Nunez 0 for 1. First at bat, he flied out to center. Again, starting at second base tonight. Brock Holt feeling better. He's getting closer and closer. Now with a hamstring at the moment. Of course, Eduardo Tuesday tied the ball game with his third home run of the season. That was in the bottom of the 12th inning against Kansas City. It's his first career extra inning home run. Hard ground ball for a single. Devers to second. And DeShields left it behind. DeShields throws to second and got him. Nunez is cut down, but he's pointing at the Red Sox dugout. He wants a challenge here. Devers safely into third base. So let's see if the Red Sox elect to review this.
Let's take a look at the play at second base. Nunez swimming. Does he get that left hand in before the tag? Then his foot went over the bag, so he maintained contact.
Yeah.
with the bag.
I thought he got to the bag before the tag.
It seemed that way with the hand swimming around.
And they are going to review.
I mean, the ball beats him, no question, but where's the tag?
Well, he never left contact with the base, as you pointed out,
No,
Jerry.
no.
It was several parts of his body.
I mean, if anything, his left hand hooked around, got the bag before the tag was put on his lower body. But then he slid off the bag but kept contact with his foot. Now watch his left hand slide around the tag. Does he tag him on the right hand? No. He tags him around the belt area. So I mean, to me, that looks like he's safe. And now the glove's off, so he doesn't have to worry about being tagged up.
Boy, given that, I thought he was safe.
Yeah, I did too. So did Nunez.
You're correct that the throw got there first, but
yeah, the throw beat him. And you know, I'll tell you what, before replay in the old days, that'd have been an automatic out.
No
automatic out.
No question.
The ball beat you, you were out.
So the Red Sox challenging the play. It's under review. If they overturn the call, it would be second and third and nobody out, and he is safe.
All right. All right.
They got that right. That was a whale of a slide. I mean, that was some slide.
That's again, you know, I've been talking about these head first slides, and I used to hate them, but I'm telling you, I love these. I love these things now because you can pick up bags where you couldn't do that in the past. That was an automatic out.
So a great chance for Blake Swihart to come through. He's 0 for 1 with a fly to right. Second and third, nobody out. Another look.
Watch the left hand swing around. No tag yet. Tag on the down around the belt. A little tip of the cap to the dugout on a good piece of base running.
It's a base hit and an error on DeShields for overrunning it, by the way. Devers down to third. Red Sox trying to get right back at it here. 4-1 Texas. And the native Texan Blake Swihart at the dish. That missed. 2-1.
This will be a nice way for Swihart to really feel like he's part of the ball club. Base hit here, drive in two.
Vasquez on deck and the 2-1. And that is ball three. Another good take. So the count certainly his way at 3-1. And even better ways, a 3-run homer. Really feel a part of the club.
Yeah, that really, really good. Yeah.
Base hit could mean two. So Minor in some trouble. 3-1. He went for it.
He had a good pitch too. He had a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and he seemed to get just a little too big on it. See the head discipline not there. He kind of letting that head fly a little bit.
Devers at third, Nunez at second. And he walked him. Ball four. Swihart will take his base, and they are all loaded up for Christian Vasquez. It's one of those seasons where every time you look up, the Red Sox have the bases loaded. And of course, they have hit half a dozen grand slams. Vasquez due to make something happen. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. And a man at every base for the Sox here, trailing by 3, but very early. Ball one.
Well, he aimed that pitch right there. Bases loaded situation. I mean, he was just aiming that first pitch. See Cora, he's trying to tell the runner at third base to give him some fakes. Fake a step or two down the line. Maybe he can draw a balk.
Little floater into left field coming on Rua. That's going to drop down for a base hit. One run is in. They'll hold Nunez at third. It's 4-2, and they are reloaded on the RBI single by Vasquez.
Now, because there's nobody out in the inning, that's why they held Nunez. Had there been 1 out or 2 out, they would have sent him because he read that ball very well. Watch Nunez at second base. He reads it. It's going to drop in. He thinks he's going to score, but Fables is holding him up, which is probably the wise thing to do. You got nobody out in the inning. You don't want the first man thrown out at home plate.
So here comes Jackie Bradley, another guy who is due. 0 for 1. He has popped to the catcher. Swinging bunt there, but a foul ball right at home plate. Foul for strike one. Mookie Betts on deck. All loaded up with Nunez at third, Swihart at second, and Vasquez on at first. Red Sox trying to put up a crooked number here against Mike Minor and the Rangers in the third. Jackie just 3 for 32 against left-handed pitching. But they're loaded for him, and it's rolled foul to count 0-2.
You know, we were talking prior to the ball game today, and we were talking a little hitting, and I kind of brought up the fact of the head discipline on J.D. Martinez, how he just about sees contact. If you watch Jackie Bradley Jr. throughout the years, his head kind of tilts back as he's making a swing at contact.
And a breaking ball will strike him out. Caught him looking. He thought it was high. But the home plate ump, Cuzzy, rings him up. He strikes out looking.
Yeah, frustration steady in right now. He thought he had a high breaking ball right there, but we'll have to take another look at it. And it looks like it drops right at the top of the strike zone, and you know, it looked high to Jackie Bradley when it went by him, but then it drops right at the top of the strike zone. You see when he stands up where the location of the pitch is.
A big first out there for Minor brings up Mookie Betts, who has already crushed a home run. His 12th of the season, 1 for 2. Minor knows full well he's facing one of the hottest hitters on the planet, with no place to put him. So for the left-hander, the Wolf is at the door. Ball one. Time now for a high-strength steel play brought to you by New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado.
About 4 rows back and out in those left field bleachers.
High fly ball into right field. Backing up Mazzara. Room on this one to make the play. Nunez back to tag. He comes in to score. Swihart advances second to third. And Mookie has his second RBI of the ball game to make it a 1-run game. On the sac fly. So he's now driven in 23 runs. And that'll send up Hanley Ramirez. And you see, Red Sox were looking forward to celebrating that tremendous slide by Nunez once he got inside the dugout. Hanley has grounded to third and taken ball 4. He has a man at third representing the tying run for the Red Sox here in the 4th inning. And he'll take ball 1. Hanley 3 out of 11 against Mike Minor with a homer. Red Sox do have 3 hits in the inning, and he walked Blake Swihart. He'll take that one a little bit off the outside, and the count goes to 2-0.
That could have went either way. That was very similar to the Jackie Bradley pitch right there.
And borderline, but Hanley got the call. Hanley's been ridiculous with runners in scoring position. over the first 30 games. He's hitting .500 with a runner at second and third. That one off the glove. Minor has to scurry to get it, and he throws and got him at first base. So close, but got him to get out of the inning. The Red Sox do get 2. It's now 4-3 Texas. Bottom of the 4th inning coming your way, and the Rangers up by 1 on the Red Sox. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Garrett Austin here from Arlington, Texas. And the Red Sox did have the tying run just 90 feet away and almost brought it in on the ground ball up the middle by Hanley Ramirez. It got a piece of the glove of the pitcher, the Hall of Famer Pudge Rodriguez, among those in the crowd tonight. Great Ranger. Man, could he throw.
Yeah, very quick feet, strong throwing arm, quick release. Almost impossible to run on.
Jurickson Profar tripled, drove in a run, and scored himself in the 2nd inning. And Profar was going to be the next big thing here in Texas about 5 years ago. Then he injured a shoulder, missed all of 2014, has played sporadically in the big leagues since then. Was hitting .238 with a home run coming into play tonight. Now Price has gone to 3-1 on him. David has not walked anyone tonight. He has struck out 3. And the 3-1 from the 6'5" left-hander. He does walk it. So Profar is aboard. Let's send it now to Casey back in the studio for our social stretch. Good evening, Casey.
Good evening. You all know Orbit, the Astros mascot, always up to something. During their series with the Yankees, it just wrapped up today, he decided to be a judge. And with the power vested in him, he declared Aaron Judge guilty of looking like Sid from Toy Story. So other rulings included Brett Gardner not guilty of always being happy, and Giancarlo Stanton not guilty of being ridiculously good looking. But for real, take some time, Google Sid from Toy Story and compare it, because it is pretty spot on.
Doing it right now. First thing I thought of was I got to get a picture of Sid to see if it measures up here. Might not be a good thing for Judge in the end. Now Renato Nunez He drove in a run in the second inning with a sacrifice. Steps in here with a man at first. 4-3 Texas. Yankees rallied late. In fact, in the ninth inning, 2 runs down to beat Houston 6-5. Right through there for a strike.
Right now, David Price having a little trouble getting the ball down. A couple of changeups to Profar to walk him. And the first 2 pitches here to Nunez have been up in the zone.
Two and one. It's actually here in Arlington for 4 games. So long series. Porcello, Erod, and then Chris Sale. Off day Monday. Red Sox will have that in New York City before the big series with the Yankees. Eduardo Rodriguez away on family medical leave, but the hope is he'll be back for Saturday. Two balls and 1 strike to Nunez. Profar holding. Took himself a home run cut and came up empty, and the count moves to 2-2.
Yeah, unfortunately, David Price kept that fastball away from Nunez.
So far tonight, he has struck out 3 Rangers. He goes full here on Nunez. Chirinos on deck.
See if they send Profar at first base.
Rice studying the mid of Vasquez, working with Christian Vasquez tonight. And popped him up. Playable. Hanley Ramirez in foul ground and has that.
Stick with the team that has been with you all season long as the Bruins continue their quest for the Cup. Don't miss an hour of pre and post game coverage tomorrow night at 6 on NESN with Dale, Brick, Jack, Barry, and Alex as they break down the Game 4 action of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Lightning. Quest for the Cup is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Whew. It's a long one. It's a long one because there are so many people that are analyzing the game.
So many very talented people, and they all have opinions.
I bet there's some pretty good back and forth.
But the off-air stuff's pretty good too. Chirinos is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And during their breaks, they're like, did you hear how the Rem Dog did that promo for us the other night? That was extraordinary.
Yeah.
What a job. It's a long one, but
I really think their focus is on hockey right now.
I hope so. Profar aboard, and Chirinos takes a strike. So 65 pitches for the left-hander David Price. Red Sox trail by a run. Sox have out hit them 6-3, each side with an error. No double play balls yet. Red Sox at 22-8 marks the franchise 3rd best start ever through 30 games. 1946, the Red Sox went 24-6, and in 02, 23-7. 2-1 with the runner going, and it's fouled back on the cut by Chirinos. lot of come from behind wins, and the Red Sox have to do it again tonight. It's a team that does not appear to mind when the opponent gets out in front.
Well, they know they have a good offense. They know they can score runs, so you have that confidence that you can come back.
2-2. And a base hit through the hole. Chirinos with a single, and Profar stopping at second. Red Sox on Nesson brought to you by Ace Ticket. Bruins and Celtics playoff tickets are available to all games at TD Garden. Visit aceticket.com right now. There comes the number 9 man, Ryan Rua, left fielder, 0 for 1. Pretty good power. He hit just .217 last year, but 2 years ago he hit 22 home runs. He's hit 1 so far in the early going this year. So far Price has had 1 easy inning. That one torched but foul. It was the first inning when he got them 1, 2, 3.
Right now it's a struggle for David Price. It really is, and it's with all his pitches. He's got to really battle hard to get through these innings.
Profar at second, Chirinos on at first with 1 down. And a line drive for a base hit in center field against center runner. Profar trying to score. He will. Jackie Bradley does not throw, and that'll make it 5-3 Texas on a single by Ryan Rua.
You know, Price finally gets the pitch down in the zone, but there's contact on it. It looks like it might be the changeup that time, and you know those changes have been running up and away from right-handers. That one stayed down over the plate, but hit in the center field for the base hit. Run comes around, so the Rangers answer with 1 of their own.
So the walk comes back to hurt him. The leadoff base on balls, and Dan Levangie out for a consultation. We'll send up the line to Shields, who's got 1 for 2 with a single. Well, Celtics have just gone to halftime with the 76ers trailing 56-52. Here in Arlington, Texas has just taken a 5-3 lead on the Red Sox. The batter DeShields is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning. And nothing easy tonight for the left-hander David Price. It has been a struggle. Got him in order in the 1st inning, but 2nd inning he hit a batter, then allowed a triple and a sacrifice fly to fall behind 2-0. And in the 3rd inning, a base hit, an error, and a 2-run double. Now an RBI single here in the 4th. That's downstairs. David Price's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket.
72 pitches already, and we're here in the 4th inning. Talked about it being a struggle. It has been.
Red Sox do have Velasquez throwing in the bullpen. Two and 1 on to Shields. 2 for 8 lifetime against Price. He's got Chirinos at 2nd and Rua at 1st. And the 2-1 is knocked foul back out of play to even up the count. By the way, we want to mention that Mookie Betts is homered tonight as a leadoff man. It was his 69th home run, and he is now tied with Dom DiMaggio for the most home runs by a Red Sox hitter by a leadoff hitter. It's not leading off an inning, of course, but just as a leadoff man. And Mookie is just 25. Here's the 2-2. Line drive, base hit right field. Chirinos into third and stopping there as the throw comes to home plate. And they're all loaded up now for Texas.
Yeah, he had to stop because he wasn't sure if Nunez was going to be able to make that catch or not, and he didn't want to get doubled up. And I think right now, the way things are going with David Price, and it has been a struggle, as we said. I think they're just waiting for Velasquez to get loose. There's the holding at second base, make sure the ball gets through, and then they have to hold him at third.
There are nights when you just don't have much, and that's been the case with Price since the first inning. Shin-Soo Choo now. He reached on an error last time up by the third baseman Devers. He's gone 0 for 2. Has pretty good power, firing down to third and not in time to get him. Chirinos able to scoot back in with the foot first slide. Let's see. Thinking about maybe a bobble over there. He's not going to challenge it though. So the count 1-0. Bases are all loaded up with one down. .84 miles an hour went to the changeup. Career with the bases loaded. Choo hitting .348, and he does have 3 grand slams. And he's been a tough out in the past for Price. He's homered twice against the left-hander. The 1-1. Hard hit, but foul. He hooked it off the line with some authority, but a foul ball.
Yeah, I tried to throw him that cut fastball and threw it inside, and out in front of it was Choo. There's that little cutter, and you can see that it stays on the inside part of the plate, something he can pull, but pulls it foul. And that's where that pitch was designed to go, inside. So Vasquez set up in there.
Boy, long inning here for Price in the fourth. Pretty long one last inning too. Chirinos, Rua, and DeShields filling up the bases for Texas. They lead at 5-3. This next one will be the 28th pitch of the inning for Price. Cut on and missed, and Choo is down. So he struck him out.
Gets him on the fastball right there, outside part of the plate. Choo had seen a number of pitches inside in that at bat. Finally, they go away with the fastball, and he's late on the swing.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa now. He has gone 0 for 2. Fly to center, a pop to third. He's been a good contact man coming up through their system. Rarely strikes out. No place to put him. And ball 1. Texas has them loaded up. Price trying to limit the damage to 1 run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Texas really scuffling as a team. They're 12-20 out of the gate. But they've swung the bats pretty well tonight. Price home with a 1-1. So now David in front. A ball and 2 strikes on Kiner Falefa, who is the number 3 hitter in their lineup. The rookie. He's played every position save pitcher and catcher on his way up through the minors. Price trying to make it back-to-back strikeouts.
Showing great confidence. Put him in that 3 spot in the lineup. He's been doing all right, hitting near 280, 278 coming in.
Chirinos at third, Rua at second, DeShields at first, a run home. And a 1-2 pitch. Could not entice him with that one. 2-2. .84 pitches for Price with 2 down in the 4th inning. But there are 2 away. Here's the 2-2. He left it low and he's filled up the count.
He's had a problem with his changeup tonight. You know, it's either been high or too low. One that he threw for a strike in this inning ended up being a base hit, but that changeup too low. He hasn't had the feel for that pitch tonight at all.
Usually such a good pitch for him too. Now needs to throw a strike right now with Mazzara on deck. .3-2 and he walked him. That'll force in a run. Chirinos scores and David Price is done for the night. 6-3 Texas. The second walk in the inning, but this one comes with the bases loaded. And that is all for the left-hander, and he'll leave behind the bases loaded with 2 runs in the frame. It is now 6-3. The Rangers. Red Sox have to go to Velasquez, and we'll take the break and be back with more in Arlington in just a moment. Batting glove of the Red Sox in Major League Baseball. The all-new Subaru Ascent featuring all-wheel drive and 3 rows of seats. Love is now bigger than ever this spring. And by Citizens Bank. Visit Citizens Bank BOSAT.com. Red Sox fans not overjoyed by what they've seen so far tonight. The Sox are trailing 6-3 now, and big trouble. Hector Velasquez inherits the bases loaded. And 2 down, and Mazzara, an RBI man at the plate. He's already driven in 2 with a double. Drove in over 100 last year. And that one squirts underneath Vasquez. That's going to bring in another run. And to score, Rua got underneath him. It's 7-3 Texas.
Yeah, man, at third base, I mean, that's the ball that has to be blocked by Vasquez. You can't let this ball get through your legs. It looked like a change-up grip that time, or a split-fingered grip, and you can see it go right through the legs. Man, at third base, that ball has to be blocked.
It will be a wild pitch, but if you're a catcher, you're exactly right. Yeah.
You know you should have blocked it.
And the runners move up to second and third. To Shields and Kiner Falefa. 7-3 Rangers, and the bottom of the 4th inning. Velasquez got his 4th win of the year after throwing 2 scoreless innings on Monday in the victory over Kansas City. He's tied for the American League lead in wins. He's 4-0. And that equals Rick Porcello. Gallo on deck. A 3-run 4th inning so far for Texas. It was right after the Red Sox had closed the gap with 2 of their own in the top of the inning. And closed it to a 1-run lead.
Oh, nothing but off-speed pitches so far. Mazzaro.
Mazzara is the 8th Ranger to hit in the 4th. 3-1 high, deep drive to right center field. Jackie Bradley turning. He watches it go. It is gone. A 3-run homer for Mazzara, who has 5 RBIs now tonight, and he breaks it wide open for Texas.
Told you at the beginning they have some guys in this lineup that have the ability to hit the home run, and he is certainly one of them. Big night. Double a drive in 2, now a 3-run home run. Once again, that fastball was turning over to the outside part of the plate, but he's able to reach it and hook it out of the ballpark.
Ground ball, a friendly hop for Hanley Ramirez by Gallo, and that will retire the side. But Texas explodes for 6 and now has a 10-3 lead on the Red Sox through 4. Boston Food Bank, you can win a chance to win a Nesson VIP ballpark experience. For more information, visit Nesson.com/strike-out-hunger. It is 10-3 Texas. J.D. Martinez has gone 1 for 2 with a base hit. Red Sox trail by 7 after a 6-run bottom of the 4th inning that took 27 minutes. It was a long one. Bogart's on deck, and then Rafael Devers. And Martinez hitting .345 as he'll take one up top for a ball. The Red Sox have laid a couple of these on opponents, but they really haven't had one against them. Kind of a game like this where they get behind so big so early. They beat Tampa Bay 10-3 relatively early in the season. They beat Baltimore 10-3, beat Anaheim 10-1 and 9-0. Maybe the closest was that 12-6 game against Tampa Bay. It'll drift outside for a ball. So a lot of run support from Mike Minor tonight. Veteran left-hander who was out of the bullpen last year for Kansas City for a season and now back to starting capacity. 3-2.
Yeah, and Minor hasn't exactly been lighting it up. I mean, you know, he's given up the 3 runs in the 4 innings, but now he can relax a little bit with the big comfortable lead that he's got.
And a payoff pitch to J.D. Martinez. Bounding ball behind third along the line. That's a fair ball. There's a lengthy throw. Safe at first. Well, Martinez got up that line in very good shape for his second hit tonight.
Yeah, now it's a tough play for Nunez at third base because you don't know if that ball's going to be fair, foul, hit the bag, whatever. It bounces up, and then the one-hop throw to first base, but Martinez hustling all the way down the line to pick up another base hit. So he's got 2 on the night, 2 for 3.
Another multi-hit game for the Red Sox outfielder will send up Xander Bogaerts. Xander has a double, 1 for 2, hitting .371. Hey, you look at the score and you think, well, Texas is way out ahead in hits. That's not true. It's even at 7.
They've just had the bigger hits.
Devers on deck. And a strike. Minor from the set, and that'll be down and in with a breaking ball. Did you see yesterday where Yoenis Cespedes of the Mets snapped his diamond necklace on a hard slide into second base, and diamonds went everywhere around second base? I mean thousands of dollars of diamonds.
The guy's diving after him?
Oh, the umpires were picking at him, trying to find him. Diamonds on the diamond. He was not happy.
Now let that be a lesson not to wear diamonds on the diamond. You know, just take them off in the clubhouse and leave them there.
Yeah. Safe deposit box. TV camera showed them shining in the dirt. He and the umpire scooped up, I think, all of them. Maybe 1 or 2 left. 3-1. He'll walk him. Ball forward to Xander Bogaerts. So Red Sox still working. Runners at first and second.
Yeah. Stay on top of the latest Red Sox news with Nesson's free Red Sox text alerts. From breaking news to in-game alerts, Nesson will make sure you're in the know. To sign up, just text Red Sox to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Now that's got to kind of tick off the manager for the Texas Rangers. You know, you build up a big lead and your pitcher comes out and the first two guys reach base hit, walk.
Yeah, Jeff Bannister cannot be too happy with that.
No, not at all.
He sent out Doug Brocail as pitching coach. Well, here comes Devers. Raphael with a base hit and a run last time up. He's also struck out. Red Sox are down 10-3. And he'll look at a strike. You know, even the games that the Red Sox have lost, and there have not been many, only 8 losses all season, have been very close for the most part. They've lost the 8 games by a total of 20 runs. Lost games 4-3, 7-6 in 13 innings, 4-3 in 10 innings. So rather stunning to see a 10-3 this early in a game involving the 2018 Red Sox. On the infield, knocked down by Kiner-Falefa into second. That's dropped there, but he got him. That was on the exchange. So they're going to be safe on the corners. No double play, however.
Now a little break for the Red Sox there, because that would have been and should have been a double play. But on the transfer right here, there's the bobble first, and then he gets it in his glove. As he goes to get it in his throwing hand, he just drops it. That's the correct call at second base.
So 2 aboard for Eduardo Nunez with a nifty slide to be safe in the 4th. He came in to score. Initially he was ruled out. When chasing there, he's 1 for 2. Eduardo has hit safely in 6 in a row. Not happy with that swing. The slide was really a work of art, and I think his teammates deeply appreciated that. His manager did. Heck of a play. The biggest deficit the Red Sox have come back and won so far when they've been down in 2018 is 5. That was that win against Tampa Bay. Leclerc, the right-hander, warming in their bullpen. Blake Swihart on deck. Red Sox trying to chip away. But Nunez goes down and he's angry at himself. He swings and misses on a changeup for strike 3. Stay tuned after the 3rd out for the mid-5th studio show with Adam and Casey. They will have it all covered. Now Swihart, he's flied out and taken ball 4. Inning began very promisingly with a base hit and a walk, but now 2 down, no runs in yet. Blake with a walk in the 4th when the Red Sox were bouncing back and cut it to a 1-run game at the time.
Now we talked it earlier in this, in this ball game about how the Red Sox feel they're never really out of the game because they've got so much offense. Right now it comes down to, you can't let them get any more runs, and the Red Sox got to peck away, and you never know what might happen, but the pitching staff has to completely shut them down.
Now Cuzzy now talking to the Red Sox dugout. He's not happy at all with somebody. Alex Corson, we got it.
I don't think it's Cora that got his attention. I think it was somebody else in the dugout.
One and 2 on Swihart. That last pitch drawing the ire of somebody. And rolled to Profar. He'll shovel on to get him. and retire the side. That's all for the Red Sox. Now it's time to turn it over to Adam and Casey for the mid-fifth studio show, guys.
You know, now he moves into a different stage of his life in baseball.
His agent says he's not done playing. We'll see. Jerks and Profar to lead things off here as we move on to the bottom of the fifth inning. 10-3 Texas. He's contributed tonight with an RBI triple, and he's also walked and scored. Profar was on Curaçao's 2004 Little League World Championship team. And they put a lot of talent into the major leagues from that time. Renato Nunez on deck, and then Robinson Chirinos against Hector Velasquez. He gave up the 3-run homer to Mazzara. Texas a banged up ball club, but they're getting plenty of offense tonight. And the 3-0. And walked him on 4 straight. So he's on board for the 3rd time in the ball game. Time for us to toss it down to Garen Austin. Garen.
Thanks, Obi. Well, PJ Trojanowski is 7 years old, and she started coming to Ranger games back in 2015, and she told her parents that her favorite player was Mitch Moreland. They said it was hard when they had to break the news to her that he'd signed with the Red Sox. In January of 2017, PJ was diagnosed with cancer and started a very tough battle. A friend of her mom's went down to spring training, met Mitch, told him the story, and he made her a little video message. That message reached PJ during a really tough time, and her mom said it made an immediate impact, lifted her spirits, and her test results came back the next day, and she'd shown signs of improvement. She received another message from Mitch right after her surgery, and her parents told me that those video messages helped PJ beat cancer. Guys, today, PJ finally got to meet Mitch. She came here to watched him take BP. They exchanged gifts, and I asked her about it, and she said it was amazing to finally meet him. And guys, Mitch said you just can't even put it into words.
Wow, and we're seeing some of that video right now, Garen. This is a great moment here.
I just got a gift for him.
Yeah, that's super.
She knew that he liked to duck hunt, so she made him a duck that said, "Thank you for helping me beat cancer."
Isn't that the best? Wow. And she looks great, Garen.
Oh, she looks great, you guys. She was so much fun. She was waving at Mitch. He gave her his batting gloves. Yeah, she's a great little girl. It was a lot of fun to meet her today.
That's a great story. Nice job with that. And, you know, the Morelands are a big family by today's standards. Susanna and Mitch, they have 2 sons and a daughter. So you know he's locked into this heart and soul. This is great. And one of those guys who really gets it, you know, that the role that a professional athlete, professional ball player can have in healing.
Yeah, it can mean so much to a lot of people.
And Nunez striking out, runner at first base. Here comes Chirinos. He has singled and struck out. I think regardless of the score, she's staying for the whole thing, hoping that Mitch maybe get into the ball game. And tomorrow, the Red Sox and Rangers game number 2. Right-hander Bartolo Colon will be on the mound against Rick Porcello. I think a very good chance that he'll be in that game. This one so far mostly Rangers. 10 runs on 7 hits. Red Sox with 3 runs on 7 hits. Bounced up there. Vasquez with a good knockdown to keep Profar on at first.
Had a problem tonight with that changeup, which is usually a very good pitch for him, but he's been bouncing a couple. One went through Vasquez's legs.
It was something that was off with David Price tonight too, because he usually has a devastating changeup.
Yep.
It's a tough pitch for him to try and get a hold of tonight. Down into the dirt. Another block by Vasquez.
Everything was off for Price tonight. You know, when you go out there and you can't find a couple of pitches that are working for you, you're in big trouble. And David couldn't find that tonight. He couldn't find his fastball, his cut fastball, his changeup. He just couldn't find any of them that there was any comfort level with.
They got 6 runs in the 4th inning. The Rangers did. He checked his swing there. Activity in the Sox pen. Marcus Walden, who's just recently been recalled, is warming up. One down, the 3-1. Rattle towards short. Xander Bogaerts fires toward the outfield. That's going to roll up the line. Hanley Ramirez has to back it up. Down to third. Profar takes a turn and will stop there. Xander seemingly was unsure, almost at the crack of the bat, what to do here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You see the ball come out with just like the 2 fingers on it, and the ball was not secure in his throwing hand. And that's the reason for the bad throw. He was going to go there, but then he couldn't get the handle on the baseball, and once he did, he just made a bad throw to second base. So this game is about as bad as we've seen a Red Sox game all season long.
Well, Velasquez is done. And rough for him. He gave up the 3-run homer, although only one of those runs was charged to him. Walden coming on. We'll take a break and be back with more in a moment. 10-3 Texas. To sit out, make sure you join the replacement experts at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Visit bidmc.org. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin alongside here from Arlington, Texas. This one has gotten away from the Red Sox. First and third for the Rangers with one down. Red Sox have to go to the bullpen again. And here's Marcus Walden, who's back with the ball club, recalled yesterday from the Paw Sox for his third major league stint of the season. He appeared in only one game for the Paw Sox. Made his first career opening day roster out of spring training. Ryan Rua here. He has an RBI single. Ohio native, a devoted Cleveland Browns fan. That's hard work.
I would say.
0-16. Mercy. Here's the 1-1.
I give him credit. At least he's sticking with them while they're back. You know.
Yep.
Most people take the road and go, and he's staying right with his club.
I've got a lot of Browns fans like that. You know, as bad as they are and as bad as it looks, there's still within them the ability to believe it's going to get better. One decade. He committed there. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. He is going to argue the point with Phil Cuzzy. Actually, that would be strike three. And the reason both sides have been a little bit upset with him on display here. Look at the look on the face of Bannister.
Now let's see. I mean, you know, from that angle, it's tough to tell if he. You know, certainly the pitch was not a strike, but he's pointing to Rua, saying that he swung, and Rua saying, "Why don't you ask the first base umpire for some help on that?"
Refused to do it. So Cuzzy hearing it from both dugouts, even though the Rangers are up by 7. And in there for a strike on to Shields, who has 2 singles tonight, and he has struck out. Two down and 2 on. Walden with a 1-1. Got a piece of that and flicked it foul.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Steve will break down key plays of the game, and you'll hear from David Price and Alex Cora. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason.
Profile the runner at third, and Chirinos the runner at first base. And Walden trying to end the 5th. And a ground ball deep short. Bogarts with a sliding stab, throwing into second base, and got him. Although there may be a review on this one. That will be out number 3 if it's upheld. We'll see if they decide to challenge it.
Well, from up here, it looked like he was safe. Let's see what a closer look looks like. Tough to tell from that angle right there whether he was touching the bag or not by the time Nunez got the ball. They are not going to review it. So good call at second base.
And
Nice
out number
play.
3. Yep. Every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. 6th inning, and Vasquez leading things off here. He struck out. He's also singled in a run when the Red Sox rallied to get a couple of runs in the 4th inning. Both sides have been barking at the home plate umpire Phil Cuzzi. I don't know if you saw it, but the Mets' Todd Frazier had some very strong comments about umpiring this season. What he considers to be subpar umpiring, particularly balls and strikes. Profar will gather that. That's out number 1. And he's even talked about going to the commissioner maybe and seeing Commissioner Manfred to talk about umpire, home plate umpiring in particular.
I think there's a few angles you got to take before you get the commissioner about umpires, balls and strikes, don't you?
Well, you know, he did a smart thing. He went to the umpiring crew that was working a series they had with San Diego, and they're out on the West Coast, and he grabbed one of those umpires and started asking some questions about, you know, how are you guys calling balls and strikes on a line drive, but that'll be caught kind of with the catch to retired Jackie Bradley, who's 0 for 3. So he started there, but he said, well, you know, I may wind up going right to Rob Manfred on this one.
And maybe he didn't like what he heard out there from the umpires.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, we watch games day in and day out, and you see different umpires just make different calls. I mean, and that's never changed. That's always been that way.
Mookie Betts 1 for 2 with a home run tonight and 2 RBIs. I gotta be honest with you, I have not noticed a big fall off this year.
No, I haven't either. You know, there's been pitches that have been missed that always are. I mean, they're human. They miss pitches. I don't think there's any pattern that's going on and say, okay, this certain pitch this year is going to be a strike.
Right. Yeah. And he seemed to be leaning that way. I don't know what he told the umpires. It was a private conversation. We don't even know which umpire he talked to. We do know which crew he talked to, but not, you know, which of the 4 guys. He's kept that confidential, but he was pretty upset about it. He's having a hard year, although he's always been a guy who struck out a lot. 1-2 on Mookie, who strikes out infrequently. He's homered 4 times in the last 2 games. Mookie at the moment leading the majors with 12 home runs. One, two, little dribbler. First baseman Gallo flips it close, and he got him. And the Red Sox are retired in order here in the 6th inning.
Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Now that's an entertaining matchup. You've got Rick Porcello pitching to go to 5-0. He's having a tremendous start to his season. And then there's almost 45-year-old Bartolo Colon, his opponent, who's coming off a tremendous effort, still pitching in the big leagues after all these years. Should be a lot of fun tomorrow night. Game 2 right here on NESN. Shin-Soo Choo has gone 0 for 3, has reached on an error and scored a run. He grew up in South Korea, a huge Ken Griffey Jr. fan, and he slices a base hit to left. So he's aboard. Time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's our man Tom Caron. Of course, pending the outcome of this one, thank you, Tom. 10-3 Texas. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa has gone 0 for 2, but he walked with the bases loaded in the 4th inning. That's when they scored 6 times to take command of the game. Rookie second baseman who can play all over the diamond, actually. Not a bad crowd for a weeknight, particularly the way the Rangers had played coming in at 12-20. Bounding ball almost gets the runner. Choo, he has to skip on his way to second. Now he's heading into third. Here's Mookie's throw, the tag, and he is out. He got him. Trying to run on Mookie Betts. Only now is he walking away.
Now Betts is going to pick up his second assist of the season. You know, Hanley was saying that the ball hit Chu and of course he would have been out. And then Betts comes up firing, throws an absolute strike on one hop to Devers, and Devers is there waiting on him, has to dive for him, but the ball was there in plenty of time. And Hanley was pointing that he thought that the ground ball hit Chu in the foot.
Be a base hit for kind of Falefa. And brings up Nomar Mazara. Had a big night, 5 RBIs, 2-run double and a 3-run homer. So 1 down. Joey Gallo on deck. Who's playing very well these days is the Atlanta Braves. Just pounded on the Mets today, 11-0. And Atlanta now leads the National League East. They've won 5 in a row. They are on the Sox schedule this year. Coming up later this month, they will be coming to Fenway the 25th, 26th, and 27th. Turning into a tough to beat ball club in the National League East.
And that East is all upside down right now, isn't it?
It is. Hanley with the backhand stab. He'll take the shore out. He gets him at first base. Down to second. Moves Connor Falefa.
A Saturday on an all-new dining playbook. Billy and Jenny head to New Orleans-inspired restaurant called Bootleg. Special for some crawfish and seafood. Find 3 new places to go before, during, and after the game Saturday morning at 9 on Dining Playbook, driven by your New England Chevy dealers. Crawfish
at Bootleg. Well, some Sox fans hanging in despite the score, hoping for a major comeback tonight. Here's Gallo swinging at first pitch. He pops it out of play. Mentioned Gallo last year hit .209 while drilling 41 home runs. He had only 32 singles all year. Struck out 196 times. But he gives them legit power. 10 home runs already. Oh, and 2 in the last half of the 6th inning. Man at second with 2 gone. And Walden looking for the strikeout. Didn't get it there.
Tried to go upstairs in the zone, but that was, I don't think Gallo could have hit that if he climbed the ladder.
And the right-hander picks one out from Vasquez. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. All the way to the backstop. The runner will advance from second to third. Connor Falefa in and 90 feet away on a wild pitch. Texas has only won 4 games at home all season long. 4-12 here.
You never know it by tonight.
Well, that's for sure. Plenty of offense. Two drifts away. Full count here on Gallo. Jerks and Profar on deck. Profar's had a perfect night in terms of being on base all 3 times. Payoff pitch now. He strikes him out. Side retired, 1 man left. Sandwiches for $2, $3, or $5. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. So 10-3 game. The Rangers in front here as we go to the 7th inning. New pitcher is Jose Leclerc. He'll take over for Minor, who can win the ball game. He went the first 6 innings, gave up 3 runs. And Hanley Ramirez is 0 for 2 with a walk, leading things off.
It's the 3rd time this year that Leclerc has been called up to the big leagues by the Texas Rangers. A lot of moving around in just a month.
24-year-old from the Dominican Republic, and he drops in a strike. His brother in yellow, a right-hander, was signed by Texas back in 2010 and was selected by the Red Sox in the minor league phase of the Rule 5 draft 4 or 5 years later. So some Boston connection. 2 hopper to short. Profar handles that chance. 1 away in the 7th. And a quiet night for Hanley so far. He's 0 for 3. Not so much for J.D. Martinez. He has 2 hits. 2 for 3, pair of singles. And a 2-run homer and a base hit yesterday to complete an excellent homestand. J.D. was 11 for 23 on the homestand with 6 RBIs in the 6 games. So he is proving to be all the Red Sox expected. I think he also made the best defensive play we've seen him make tonight.
Tonight, going back toward that left field wall, yes, early in the ball game. I lost sight of that ball because of the scoreboard area, and I wasn't sure whether he had caught it or not.
Heck of a play, lunging at the last second to haul it in. Take another look.
Way back in the 2nd inning. Going back toward that 390 marker. Looks down, puts on a little as much as he's got left, and he's able to make the catch.
We've got a time here from Phil Cuzzy. Sox have been out hit 9-7. They've not played a clean game. They've made a couple of errors. High fly, but foul down the right field line. Tell you what, you come into the ballpark here in Texas, which is what, 23 years old. Got a new ballpark going up that'll be ready for 2020, which is retractable dome and air conditions. Going to be very comfortable. But you come into this one and you go, why are they getting rid of this place?
Yeah, exactly.
It's in great shape. Obviously, the heat is the answer, but I mean, nights like tonight where it's so comfortable temperature-wise, it's just fine.
But the problem is you don't get many of these.
No, you don't.
You really don't. I mean, you come back here a month from now and it's unbearable.
Unbearable. Dripping. That's just walking out the front door. Sweltering heat, very, very humid. And when the wind starts blowing here, and it often does in the summertime at the ballpark, it feels like you're inside a dryer.
Yeah, you know, we have these windows shut in the booth until game time, and when you open up these windows, it's like you opened up the oven door, you know, and just it's amazing. I don't know how the players do it day in and day out.
Cut on and missed. JD Martinez strikes out, 2 away.
I remember playing at the old ballpark, and I'll tell you, you'd come in and that first day, you know, not too bad. You know, by the time you had played that 3-game series, you were absolutely beat. You know, it just beat you down. And I always wondered how the Texas Rangers, in those days, they used to fade a lot in the second half, and a lot of the theory was they were playing in that kind of heat all season long.
I remember those conversations about, well, they'll never make it to postseason play because they all get absolutely gassed at the end. Throw to first, and it's bobbled by the first baseman Gallo. So Xander Bogaerts is going to be on, and it should be a base hit.
Yeah, I would think so, Dave. Nothing routine about that play. First of all, it hits the pitcher, then you got to go to the backhand if you're the second baseman. And the throw just bounces to first base, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if that's a base hit.
Xander giving himself the safe sign. And no announcement made on that play, whether it's a hit or an error. In the meantime, it'll be Devers batting. He's 1 for 3 with a single. So the Sox with a runner on and 2 down. If it is ruled a base hit, it'll be the Red Sox 8th of the night. Ooh, they're going to charge an error.
That's a tough error.
Error on the second baseman.
I mean, did that ball make contact with the pitcher? I'm almost sure it did.
I thought an above average effort play for the infielder. But the official scorer thought otherwise. Kind of a tough hometown scorer. So each side has committed 2 errors. Devers looking for his second hit. Base hit for him in the 4th inning, and he scored. And he looks at a ball. Nunez on deck. Red Sox got back in the ball game with a couple of runs in the 4th. That made it 4-3 at the time. But the Rangers came back with a vengeance later in that inning. And they scored 6 times to take a commanding lead. Hot shot down to get it. His Profar will take it to the bag for the force and retire the side. For tickets and more info, visit redsox.com/promos. So have fun with Craig Kimbrell's beard. Kicking back and relaxing here tonight. 10-3 Texas as we go to the last half of the 7th inning.
They all have seats like that out there, or is that just Kimbrell's? Is that just the closer's seat?
I'll have to get a closer look.
Looks pretty comfortable. Oh, they've all got them. I mean, that's a nice bullpen. Got a little shelf to have your peanuts and
sunflower seeds.
Yeah, nice.
You know, they're a little higher. They sit higher so the guys can see. Profile with a foul back. He's had a good night, a triple and 2 walks, and he scored twice.
They can go at those sunflower seeds, can't they?
Unbelievable.
Eat some of them and then flip a lot of them.
How many pounds does an average major league club go through over the course of a season?
No,
how many tons? It's incredible.
Alex Cora's a seed guy. See him before a game. He'll be working on a bag of seeds. They're all over the place. They flip them on the field. They're all over the dugout.
One two to Profar. He won't chase it. And then in the stands, the nachos. Nachos with cheese.
They're very, very popular here in Arlington.
2-2. And a swing and a miss. He got him. Now back to the Red Sox 4th inning, which was promising.
Well, it was really the highlight of the night for the Red Sox. Nunez with a base hit up the middle and a bobble out there in the outfield. He makes that nice slide into second base. Red Sox got something going at this point as he was called safe. Tips his cap to the dugout. Little bloop fly ball. It's going to be a base hit. Devers comes on to score. Betts with a sacrifice fly. They pick up another run. That really was the highlight of the night for the Red Sox offense.
Sox got 2 to cut it to a 1-run game. Then it got away. But at that time, it looked hopeful. And still time here. Bottom of the 7th. Renato Nunez has gone 0 for 2. He's driven in a run with a sacrifice. A little more than 22,000 here originally when the ball game got underway. We showed you the view of the new ballpark going up right across the street. It's being constructed as we speak. Going to be ready in 2020. And life will change for the Rangers. Air conditioning and indoor baseball. Well, it's a retractable dome, but there it is. And they're very, very excited about it here. They know how to build stadiums and ballparks. Bogarts with a lengthy toss, and it skips on by Hanley Ramirez, and it leaves the ballpark. It went off into the Camberwell area. So they'll send a runner down to second. That'll be an E6.
Yeah, Bogarts, when he got back on the grass, it looked like his plant foot slipped on him, and then everything went haywire after that. Watch him go back on the grass. Makes the throw to first base. Bounces. Hanley can't even come close to making a play on it. This has been, I'd have to say, Dave, the ugliest game of the season so far that I've done.
You'd say even more than a couple of nights ago when the Red Sox made the 4 errors. And
yeah, this has not been pretty tonight.
Sure hasn't been.
Yeah.
Well, Chirinos will get in. He has gone 1 for 3. He reached on an error last time up. Sox have made 3 errors. Been highly unusual for this club, which for most of the season has led the majors in fielding percentage. Last few games have been a little bit of a different story. The Sox have now dipped to 3rd in the American League in that category. And they've now committed 15 errors. I know this. It gets under the skin of the manager a lot. Chirinos with a swing and a miss. And the count 0-2. Nunez, the man at second, on the error. And Walden will fire. High fly ball driven deep to left field. Racing back Martinez all the way to the wall. Leaps up and he can't get it. A run will score. Nunez is in. And down to second with a double, Chirinos. And they get 11-3.
You know, you look at the breeze, and the breeze appears to be blowing in tonight. I think that's the only thing that kept it in the ballpark, to be honest with you. Martinez going back to the wall, goes into the jump. He can't make the play.
And Chirinos with his 6th double of the season to pick up an RBI.
He's been on base 3 times. Base hit, error, and now the double. The drive and a run.
Ryan Rua has an RBI single as he gets in. He's 1 for 3. Well, a Red Sox loss would leave them 1 game in front of the Yankees. With 3 more left here in Texas before the Red Sox fly to New York City, and they'll have Monday off and then begin a key 3-game series with the Yankees. Yankees have won 10 out of their last 11. So the standings at the moment, Yankees winning earlier today 6-5 over Houston. Toronto also won 13-11 in extra innings over Cleveland. Angels are hammering away on Baltimore 8-0 in the second inning. It's been a dreadful year for the Orioles. They lose that, they'll fall to 8-23. Team with fewer victories in the majors than the Orioles is the Cincinnati Reds with 7. They've already fired their manager. Only 1 away for Rua with Chirinos at second base, and here comes the 2-1. A dribbler foul.
Yeah, some chatter about possibly John Farrell getting an opportunity at the Cincinnati job. Working for the organization now in a front office capacity. Also doing work on television for ESPN.
In that capacity, he'd be allowed, if a manager's job came open, to leave and take it, just as Terry Francona did. And many others. Aaron Boone. Now the Yankee manager. The 2-2. High topper. Walden over to get it. He'll throw to first base. He's close, and he got him. Runner holding at second.
They may take a look at this right here now. They're going to hold on a second because they thought Hanley may have come off the bag too soon. Foot beat it? No, the foot does not beat it, and Hanley did not come off too soon. He came off as soon as the ball made contact with the glove. So that's a good call.
And no challenge. And here's DeShields. He is 2 for 4, 2 singles. He has scored twice as well. 2 down. 11-3 Texas. That one ripped into center field, dead away, but plenty of space out there, and Jackie Bradley with the catch. 1 run in. 11-3 Rangers. Plainridge Park Casino. Exciting games, tasty dining, great live shows. Enjoy it all at Plainridge Park Casino. And by Telescope Casual Furniture. For your outdoor furniture needs, take a closer look at telescopecasual.com. Wind is blowing here in Texas. The guys are kicking back in the bullpen. Talk about casual furniture. Red Sox trail 11-3 here. Eduardo Nunez to lead off the 8th inning. Blake Swihart, Christian Vasquez after. Been a long night for Sox fans.
Well, they wait. You know, they get off to that great start. They can't wait till they get here in Texas. And the first game doesn't exactly go the way they had hoped.
Pop to right field. Oncoming Mazzaro's had a big night with 5 RBIs. Red Sox season ticket plans provide fans with the best seats, price, and benefits the Red Sox have to offer. Plans start at 10 games. They're available right now. For more information, just visit redsox.com/season tickets or call 877-RED-SOX-9. You get a lot of Red Sox fans in Texas who made their way to the ballpark, you know, to start the series. They're here. They spent their money to be here, and they wanted to get a look at the Sox regardless of how it's going tonight, hoping for better things tomorrow night with Rick Porcello on the mound, trying to go to 5-0. Blake Swihart tonight has gone 0 for 2 with a walk.
Gets to switch around and hit from the left side of the plate now.
Leclerc working into his 2nd inning out of their bullpen. And is in there for a strike. A big win for the Celtics over the 76ers tonight.
Oh.
Caught up to him down the stretch. Big win. 108-103 the final.
Scrappy team. A lot of injuries. Still playing hard.
You watched a lot of the Celtics over the winter, didn't you?
I watched quite a bit. Yeah. You know what I enjoyed about it is they got a young team, and they played hard all year long.
2-2. Thought about it. He folded down into the dirt. Count goes to 3-2 on Blake. You know, when they lost Kyrie Irving, I was like, well,
yeah, I said the same thing.
Nice try. You know,
I said the same thing. They've had guys step up big time.
Yeah, hold the phone. Celtics up 2-0. Here's the 3-2. Loop down the left field line, but that'll slice off foul. You know, the Boston Bulldogs Running Club is hosting the 3rd annual Run for Recovery 5K at Franklin Park on Sunday, May 20th. That race a tribute to those who are battling or have lost their lives to addiction. Still time to register. Just visit bostonbulldogsrunning.org for more information. And he'll take ball 4. So Blake Swihart is on his 2nd walk tonight. Late start games mean late nights, so why not take the time right now to place your Dunkin' Donuts order using the on-the-go mobile ordering app, the Dunkin' app. Place your order now and then just click I'm ready to pick up in the morning. America runs on Dunkin'.
I see that a lot in the morning. People just coming in and going right to the pickup stand and away they go.
Vasquez 1 for 3. I'm amazed at all the stuff you can do on your phone. And I know when I say that I sound like I'm 106. But
I'm with you.
I had a BlackBerry for the longest time. Until like 15 minutes ago. Me and like 2 other guys in the whole country held on to it. And my kids were like, you've got to get an iPhone, Dad. You're a dinosaur. Do it. You know, take the plunge. Base hit into right field here by Vasquez. His 2nd hit. Runners on at 1st and 2nd. And for the longest time, Jerry, I was like reluctant. I don't know why. It was stupid to be that.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, I can't do that much on the phone. I can do a lot more than I did on my other phones, my you know, dinosaur phones. But it's incredible what you can do today. I mean,
well, you can do everything. And I'm with you. I mean, there's only certain things that I know how to do. I mean, I could take a picture. But I have a tough time after I take a picture. Like if I'm going to text it to somebody, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to do that.
I'm really good at that. My pictures stink. I mean, they really stink.
But,
it's out of focus and everything else. But
you're not a photographer, but you know. But there's a lot of stuff I can't do. I just basically use it to make calls, send text messages, read emails.
Yeah, but that's a lot when you think about it.
It's a lot, but it's like probably 20% of what you can do on these phones.
But for our generation, people like you and I who grew up dialing our telephones, it's pretty amazing that we can do as many things as we can.
And you go back when I was a kid, they used to have party lines where the 2 families shared one number.
I didn't realize you were that old.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And you'd go to use the phone, you'd pick it up, and they'd be talking on the phone.
Somebody else
would be talking on the phone, so you had to hang it up and wait till they were done.
Is somebody not related to your family?
I had no idea who they were.
I've heard about that. I didn't realize that.
Jerry, I can't even imagine that. But you guys, I do everything on my phone, especially when we're traveling. I bank on my phone, I shop on my phone, and take Snapchats all day. So
no, you're incredible on yours.
I love my phones, all of them.
And you do those animated characters. You were doing it on the flight last night because you're 6½. You were doing the characters of you and Steve,
our cameraman,
our camera guy, and they were funny as heck. They look. I mean, I can't do that. I don't know where you go on your phone to do that, but it's hilarious. As Jackie Bradley slams that one foul. That says another thing I can't do, but I mean to be able to, send a message ahead to Dunkin' Donuts on the mobile app that I want to pick up. I know exactly I want my medium cream and sugar.
Yeah,
and
but I don't know how to put an app on the phone. That's the problem. I don't know how to do that.
Well, you got to go to the app store.
Yeah, and you got to buy an app, right?
Yeah,
I'm cheap. So
I think it's free though. Even for you, it might work.
Oh, it's free. The app's free.
It is, yeah.
Oh.
The inside on Jackie. who's popped up, grounded out, and struck out tonight. Yeah, I wish I were better at it. I wish I could do a lot more with the phone, but I'm actually pretty proud of the limited things I can, because I was in the dark ages before.
What shocks me is how much, you know, in the past I had never used the phone at all.
Swing and a miss by JBJ.
And it used to drive my wife crazy. She'd be trying to get a hold of me. I had no phone, you know, and so finally I broke down and I got one of those flip phones first.
Yeah.
And I had that for the longest time. Then I moved into now. See, I think in some cases it should be illegal to have your phone in the ball game. Like, you should be able to just put it away for the 3 hours you're here and watch the game.
Right. Like, you have to put it away.
Yeah.
That's the rule when you come into the ballpark. I'd be all for that. Swing and a miss, and down he goes on strikes. Jackie 0 for 4. CVS Health is investing $50 million over 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives and move us one step closer toward a tobacco-free generation. Learn more at cvshealth.com/be-the-first. I love that idea. I think that should be a must. I mean, if you're coming to the ballpark, you're coming to the park to see your club, but you're there to socialize with people.
Yeah, I mean, I know this isn't exactly a nip and tuck ball game right now, but still, if you took shots around the ballpark, I mean, you got people just staring at their phone. They're not even watching the game. There's one right there. He's texting somebody.
He's texting her.
Yep. Another guy. Celtic fan. He's probably happy the Celtics won. Somebody's getting a pitcher. I understand that. That's, you know, I don't get it. You know, you can get that pitcher anytime.
The 0-1 will not be made. You realize that, you know, we can both run for President Curmudgeon with these comments.
Yeah, well,
and win going away.
Yeah. Something funny happened there on that little exchange.
In there for a strike. Mookie Betts with a home run in the 3rd inning, and he's driven in 2. Yeah, there's so much great technology, and we have so much available on our phones. It's amazing. But yeah, there are times you just want to come to the ballpark, watch the game, enjoy the people around you, forget about your phone. 0-2. He would not offer. Hanley Ramirez on deck. Red Sox with a couple of base runners here, trying to do a little bit of damage in the 8th inning and have the right man at the plate. Mookie leading the majors in runs, batting average, slugging percentage, OPS, and extra base hits, along with home runs. A shot out to left. Rua. Oh, it eats him up over his head. Blake Swihart scampers in to score. Vasquez trying to score. Here comes the throw home. It's going to be offline, and Mookie Betts, despite the score at this point, has had himself another major night. He's driven in 4.
He's been the highlight of the night for the Red Sox tonight again. A line shot, and when you take a look at the left fielder on this, it's almost like a line drive going by a third baseman. That's how hard that ball was hit. I mean, he had no time to react out there in left field. Unreal. He is on fire right now.
Just continues to crush it. His 12th double of the season. Another extra base hit. He has 2 of those tonight. That'll force a pitching change. It makes it 11-5. And he knocks out Leclerc. Pitching change here for Texas. We'll have more in a moment. He's played very well here. 14 career games, a .327 average with 6 home runs and 13 runs batted in, and without a hit so far tonight. But he likes these environs, and next year he'll have one more crack at it before the new ballpark comes in 2020 in Arlington. And he's grounded out 3 times. He does have Mookie Betts at second with 2 away, 2 runs in, 11-5 Texas. And a 4 RBI game for Mookie Betts after 3 home runs yesterday. He's also thrown out a man at third base tonight.
That's second assist of the season for Betts.
Now the crowd has thinned out considerably here at Globe Life Park. Up the middle, but that's exactly what they haven't played. Knocked down by Kiner Falefa, and he gets him to retire the side. That one hit hard. Red Sox settled for the 2 runs, 11-5 the Rangers.
Mookie Betts with a home run in the ball game. That coming early in the game. The drive and a run. Also had a sacrifice fly in the game. And then that line drive double that quickly got over the head of Brewer out there in left field and drives in 2 more runs. So 4 ribbies on the night for Betts.
Now Zhu Lin now in the ball game, and Blake Swihart is doing the catching. Old Dominion is the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Boston Red Sox. Swihart had been in as the designated hitter, now taking over for Vasquez. So bottom of the 8th inning, 11-5 Rangers. Shin-Soo Choo has a base hit. He's gone 1 for 4 and has scored a run. And he drives a single over the leaping Nunez into right field. His second hit. It's our game summary now, brought to you by Xfinity. Short outing for David Price, 3 2/3, just never got it going tonight. 6 hits, 9 runs, 7 earned. Mookie Betts with 4 RBIs. Minor went 6 good innings. Quality start. Mazzara has been their hitting star. Hit his 6th home run of the year. He has 5 RBIs. Kiner Falefa has gone 1 for 3 with a single, and he has driven in a run. Ground ball to short. Lynn to Nunez 1, and on to Ramirez for the double play. First one the Red Sox have turned tonight. So 2 away in the 8th. 6-4-3. And here's Mazzara with the bases empty. In 5 RBIs, pair of extra base hits.
Back in the 4th inning, and the bomb 3-run home run. It's had a big night. 5 RBIs on the night.
You know, when they get everybody back, everybody healthy, including Adrian Beltre, who can still hit, their offense is pretty good.
Yeah, that is. The question mark, I think, for the Texas Rangers all year long is going to be their pitching staff.
And there would appear to be a little short. And even though he's pitched well, they are relying on Bartolo Colon at almost 45. Cole Hamels supposed to be their ace, but he's 1-4 in ERA over 4. He will go on Saturday. Doug Fister, the former Red Sox right-hander, will pitch on Sunday against Chris Sale. Here's Doug, sinker baller. Rick Porcello tomorrow night. With a win, Rick would be 5-0 on the season. He goes up against Cologne. And in there for a strike. Nobody aboard and 2 men out. Red Sox trail 11-5. Home half of the 8th inning. Wallen's been out there a long time. That one cracked foul. Texas was just 1-9 in series openers coming into tonight. Tied for the fewest wins in game 1 of a series of any ball club, along with Kansas City. Two down and the 3-2. And he put him away. Double play really helped. We go to the 9th inning, 11-5 Rangers.
A big strikeout in the ball game, the final one the Red Sox are going to get tonight. Walden actually did a pretty nice job coming into the game. They needed to get some innings out of him to save that bullpen. He did that. So good for him.
Yep, could be a big help the rest of this series. JD Martinez is 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. Next up will be Bogarts and then Devers. Should say Lynn and then Devers. And coming on to play for him defensively, Red Sox so far tonight with 9 hits. Texas with 11. Mookie Betts doing what he could do tonight with 4 RBIs, home run and a double. We go to the 180 moment of the game, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Yeah, JD Martinez making a great play, going back to the wall early in the ball game, helping out David Price. Didn't think he was going to catch up to it, but he did before running into the wall.
Your long-term solution for weight loss and the official weight loss program of the Boston Red Sox. Certainly not the way the Red Sox envisioned kicking off this important road trip, long trip. 3 cities over 11 days, 10 games. Red Sox have been very tough on the mound all season long, but a little bit of a different story tonight, obviously, with the 6 runs in the 4th inning to see Texas kind of run away. Really the only time it's happened all season. And a 3-2 to JD. Fought off foul.
Trying to take that ball the other way on the fastball on the 3-2 count.
Yesterday, the Texas Rangers lost to Corey Kluber, of course, won the Cy Young. Ground ball to the shortstop. Profar digs it. 1 gone. So yesterday began a span in which Texas is meeting Cy Young Award winners in 3 consecutive games. Kluber, David Price tonight, Rick Porcello tomorrow. And of course, Chris Sale, Sox starter on Sunday, has finished in the top 5 in the Cy Young voting every one of the last 5 years. But mostly Rangers tonight. And here's Zhu-Wei Lin. Zhu-Wei trying to bust out of a skid. Rough going for him lately. He's 0 for his last 20. Hard hit, but it rises up for kind of Falepa. 2 up, 2 down. And the Sox are down to perhaps their last hitter tonight, Rafael Devers.
Kind of Falepa has been pretty busy out there tonight at second base for the Texas Rangers. A lot of action.
Well, the Red Sox are on the verge to seeing their lead in the American League East slashed to 1 game by the New York Yankees. With 3 more left here in Texas and then a showdown in the Bronx. Rafael in this one has gone 1 for 4 with a base hit, and he has scored a run. Martinez, a couple of hits and a great catch tonight, but his efforts and that of Mookie Betts not enough. Needed a little more help. And the 0-2 to Devers. And a 1-2 to Raphael. Sox have had one other game this season where they lost by as many as 6 runs, but all the other losses for the most part very close. Different story tonight. Here comes the 1-2 and off the outside. Two and 2 on Devers. And Barnett firing. Served to short, down to get it. Profar up and gunning, and ends the ball game on a nice play. Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the ninth. They fall 11-5 here in Arlington, and the Red Sox drop to 22-9 as we toss it back to Tom Caron.